I found a hidden folder on my wife's laptop. What I saw changed everything. Narrated by Mr.Freshy. She told me to just send the file, said her laptop was open. Said her password was the same as always. I logged in and found a folder I wasn't supposed to see. Not because it was private, but because it showed me who I was really married to. Chapter 1. Borrowed trust. Her name was Rachel. We'd been married for 5 years. No kids, 2 dogs, mortgage in both our names. Google Calendar shared. She was the organized one. I was the emotional mess. She made lists. I made playlists. And up until last Thursday, I thought she was loyal. We had dinner. We watched a show. She went upstairs to shower. I stayed on the couch, typing on my half-dead laptop. Then it crashed. Babe, I called. Can I use your laptop real quick? Sure, she shouted back. It's open. Same password. If she hadn't said that, none of this would have happened. Chapter 2. The folder. The file I needed was on my email. But when I opened Chrome, her desktop popped into view, and I noticed something odd. A folder, top right corner, slightly grayed out, named "Do Not Open" with a dot, like someone who knows how to hide ch*t from basic users. Now, I'm not a snooper. I don't go through her texts. I don't follow her location, but a hidden folder, labeled like a dare, that's basically begging to be opened. Chapter 3. What I found. I clicked. Inside, folders by date. Each named with a month and year. Jan 2023, Feb 2023, Mar 2023. All the way back to 2019, we got married in 2020. My stomach started tightening. I clicked open July 2022. Inside were files, videos, screenshots, PDFs, audio recordings. My hand was shaking, and I hadn't even clicked play yet. Chapter 4. The first video. I opened a video labeled _R_0722_hotel. The screen was dim, security cam angle. Hotel room. Rachel. Wearing red, sitting on the edge of the bed. A man walked in, not me. You know that moment when your brain doesn't want to believe your eyes. That was me. She got up, kissed him, deep, slow. Then she looked straight into the camera, smirked, and whispered, "He'll never know." Chapter 5. The rabbit hole. That was one video. There were dozens, different hotels, different men. Different months, always the same woman, my wife. Sometimes she wore wigs, sometimes glasses. Sometimes she used different names, Ashley, Raven, Lex. In one folder, she had notes like a journal. Entries like, met him at the gym, works in finance, married, typical. Said I reminded him of his wife when they were younger. So I reminded him why he's no longer faithful. Another entry said, he cried after. I left before he could ask for my number. Chapter 6. Am I married to a sociopath? This wasn't just cheating. This was a game, a pattern, a system. Some of the men she recorded without consent. Others seemed to know, even wave at the camera. There was a spreadsheet. Columns, name, age, occupation, method of meeting, rating, like she was reviewing restaurants. And my name, nowhere. Not in one folder. Not one video. Not one mention. I wasn't her husband. I was her decoy. Chapter 7. The conversation that never happened. I didn't confront her that night. She came downstairs, wet hair in a towel, kissed my forehead, and asked, "Did you get the file sent?" I looked up, nodded. "Yeah, thanks." She smiled, made tea, sat beside me on the couch. I watched her like a stranger, like I'd never seen her before because I hadn't, not really. Chapter 8. I made a copy. The next morning, I took her laptop to charge it. Instead, I copied the entire "Do Not Open" folder to a drive, encrypted it, named the folder taxes. She never questioned it. Why would she? She was always 3 steps ahead. But now I was on the board. Chapter 9. Who the hell is Rachel? I started digging deep, went through old emails, photos, conversations, looked for inconsistencies, gaps, fabrications. I found an old Facebook profile under the name Ravance. A burner Gamel linked 24 of Uber receipts to hotels, a Dropbox with over 2 terabytes of footage. Venmo payments from names I didn't recognize, labeled thanks and you're dangerous. I started realizing something terrifying. Rachel wasn't just cheating. She was running a whole underground fantasy life, and no one knew, except me. Chapter 10. I met one of them. His name was Kevin. I recognized him from the videos. A December folder, hotel scene, awkward goodbye. I tracked him through her spreadsheet, used his name, company badge, LinkedIn profile. I emailed him from an anonymous address. Do you know a woman named Rachel H? Check this link. Attached, 5-second video snippet from their hotel meeting. He replied, "Who are you? Where did you get this?" "I have a family," I responded. "Me too." He didn't reply again, but the next day he deleted all his socials. Chapter 11. WHY. I started asking the real question, not who, not when, but why the F***ck is she doing this? Then I found it. One folder. Different from the rest, it wasn't labeled by date. It was labeled Mother. Chapter 12. The Mother File. Inside, voicemails, letters, psychiatric reports, a suicide note. Turns out Rachel's mom had a history of psychotic breaks, multiple identities, erotomania, chronic infidelity. One note read, "My mother never loved just one man. She loved attention, power, secrets. Maybe I'm the same." I felt sick. This wasn't just betrayal, it was pathology. Chapter 13. I started recording her, every conversation, every gesture, every time she left the house, time-stamped. I wasn't angry anymore. I was building a case. Like a detective collecting clues or a hunter, waiting. I started sleeping with one eye open. She kissed me in the mornings, said "I love you," and I smiled. Like bait smiles before the trap snaps shut. Chapter 14. The live one. Then it happened. 2 weeks later. She said she was going to a girls' wine night. I followed. She didn't see me. She parked in a familiar spot. The same hotel from the folder labeled May 2023. I parked across the street. Watched her walk in. 15 minutes passed. Then I entered, wore a hat, walked slow, checked the security cams from the lobby reflection. Room for 115. I climbed the stairs. Quiet, barefoot, I stood outside her door, and I heard it. Laughter, moaning. And her voice, "I'll be back before he knows I'm gone." Chapter 15. The door. I stood outside room for 115 for a full minute, frozen, listening to the sounds of betrayal like they were part of a horror soundtrack written just for me. Then I knocked. 3 slow taps, silence inside. Shuffling. A voice, not hers. "Room service?" I didn't answer. I just waited. Then the door creaked open, 2 inches. She looked through the gap, saw me, eyes wide, no makeup. No lies to hide behind, just raw, primal fear. Chapter 16. The Showdown. She stepped into the hallway, closed the door behind her, her voice. Whisper shaky. "What are you doing here?" "Same thing you are," I said, "collecting experiences." "It's not what you think, really," I said. "Because I think you're in a hotel room, cheating on your husband for the 39th time in 3 years. Want to correct me?" She blinked, swallowed. "You went through my laptop. You had a folder called Do Not Open. What was I supposed to do? Frame it?" She didn't speak. So I continued. "You lied, repeatedly, systematically, and you documented it. Like a serial killer. Don't be dramatic." "Oh, I'm past dramatic. I'm methodical now." Chapter 17. The man behind the door. He opened the door mid-sentence, boxes, t-shirt, confused expression. "Baby who's?" Then he saw me. She H**t. "Hi," I said. You're number 39, by the way. Congrats. He looked at Rachel, then at me. He's your husband? Rachel didn't answer. So I pulled out my phone and hit play. Her voice, moaning, laughter. A snippet from an earlier recording. The man stepped back like he'd been slapped. Are you filming people you didn't know? I said. Oof. She didn't tell you were part of a performance art piece. He turned pale, walked back inside, door shut, cowered. Chapter 18, her final defense. What do you want? She asked. I wanted the truth. But since I already found that, here's what happens next. I handed her an envelope. Inside, a printed copy of her spreadsheet. A flash drive with videos. A note, this goes to your job, your family, your lawyer. Unless you agree to sign the divorce papers and leave with nothing, she laughed. You think this will destroy me? No, I said. I think you already did that to yourself. I'm just letting the world see it. Chapter 19, the clean break. She didn't sign right away, but she didn't fight either. 3 weeks later, her lawyer called. We settled. Fast, clean, no alimony, no division fight. I kept everything. She left town, new name, new number. I know because I checked just once, then I blocked her, everywhere, for good. Chapter 20, the aftermath. The silence after a storm isn't peaceful, it's disorienting. You walk around ruins with your ears still ringing. For months, I kept expecting a call, an apology, a breakdown. It never came because people like her. They don't feel guilt, they feel exposure. And once the spotlight's off, they vanish. Final chapter, Mr. Freshy's verdict. Mr. Freshy low, thoughtful, razor sharp. Some people don't cheat because they're unhappy. They cheat because they're addicted. To secrets, to danger, to power. Rachel didn't just betray me. She ran an entire theater production behind my back, and I pulled the curtain. So if you're sitting next to someone right now and they're acting just a little too perfect, check the folder. There's always a folder. Act 4, Ghosts Never Die. Chapter 21, The Woman in Red. 6 months later. New apartment, new job, new city. I was good. Actually, better than good. Sleeping again, eating right, even dating, slowly. Then one night I went out for drinks with a co-worker. Rooftop bar, golden hour, everything felt safe. Until I saw her. Across the street. On the opposite sidewalk, same hair, same walk. Same scar on her wrist, Rachel, but she was different. Wearing red again, holding hands with a man I'd never seen. And smiling like nothing ever happened. Chapter 22, The investigation returns. I followed. Like a shadow, she didn't see me. They walked into a restaurant. Fancy. French. Reservations required. I stood outside, watching. Couldn't tell if my hands were cold or shaking. I wasn't angry. I was fascinated. How does a woman like her rebuild? New face, new identity, new mask. Chapter 23. A new name. I did some digging. Her name now. Lena Marks. Not legally changed, just online. New socials. Fresh life coach persona. Instagram bio. Helping women step into their power. # healed not broken. The irony. She now sold courses on healing from betrayal. She had 13K followers, a podcast. And guess what her latest episode was titled? How I Survived a Narcissist Husband. Yeah, me. She flipped the whole story. Painted me as controlling, obsessive, emotionally abusive. Said I invaded her privacy, ruined her trust, never believed in her. Chapter 24, The Trap, Part 2, so I subscribed. Listened to every episode, took notes, created a fake identity. Sent her a DM, your story moved me. I think you're amazing. I'd love to talk more. Privately. She responded 2 hours later. Thank you, what's your story? I made one up. A good one. Told her I was an ex-addict, that I was cheated on. that I didn't trust easily. She was hooked. Chapter 25. The video call. She wanted to connect deeper, so we scheduled a Zoom. I wore a hat, used a filter. Changed my background. She smiled when I joined. Still didn't recognize me, even after 6 years together. She had no idea. You look familiar, she said. People say that. Your voice. I get that a lot too. We talked for 40 minutes, and when she leaned in and said, I feel safe talking to you, I smiled, paused, then turned off the filter, let the background drop. Let her see me, raw, full screen. She froze. Chapter 26. The reveal. She stared at me through the screen, color drained from her face. You. Me. How? Why? You lied about your life, I said. I figured I'd lie about mine too. She reached to end the call. I stopped her. Wait, I just have one thing to show you. I shared my screen, one by one. I played clips from her podcast. Then showed photos, emails, screenshots, proof she'd falsified everything. Then I opened the file called Rachel_history_final.mp4. A 7-minute highlight reel of her double life. With music, captions, receipts. Chapter 27. The deal. Here's what happens next. I said, you delete your podcast, your accounts, your brand, your healing empire. Or this goes live. I don't want fame. I want silence. She shook her head. You can't blackmail me. Not blackmail, I smiled. Reclamation of my story. She closed the laptop, but I knew she'd do it. Chapter 28. Gone. The next morning, her Instagram, gone. Website, deleted. Spotify, account closed. The empire collapsed in 12 hours. And me, I felt nothing. Not joy, not revenge, just quiet. Chapter 29. A new life. A year passed. I moved again, started writing. Found peace in smaller things, coffee shops, silence, honest people. I stopped checking her name. She became a ghost I no longer chased. And maybe, in some sick way, that's all she ever was. Final monologue. Mr. Freshy voice. Mr. Freshy low, steady, haunting. Sometimes the people closest to you are just mirrors, showing you the worst version of yourself, or hiding the monster they really are. Rachel didn't cheat to fill a void. She cheated because she liked the chaos, and me, I let her. Until I didn't, so if you're wondering whether to open that folder, do it. Just be ready to see yourself die a little inside. Because truth doesn't set you free. It sets fire to everything you thought was real.